Hey friends, welcome back to my channel.
Hey friends.
Oh, that doesn't sound enthusiastic.
Hey friends.
So today we are on our way out to the new property. It has been raining so bad lately that we're going to go see how it's holding up. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, why are you not talking much today?
Well, because
He's about to be doing a lot of talking.
I'm nervous.
You're nervous? So, I love the house. So beautiful.
So beautiful.
So we are going to be doing a little interview on my dad this morning. I literally told him, guess what you're doing on our ride there.
Just found out about it.
Just found out. So I have a list of questions that I looked up and we're going to ask him them. Are you ready? I even bought him some water, so I'm being a great host.
I reckon.
Okay. So the first question is, what advice would you give someone who is starting out homesteading off-grid?
Don't do it. It's a lot of work.
No, you got to be encouraging. It is a lot of work, but it's very rewarding.
I'm being real. It's a lot of work.
It is.
And a lot of times the fantasy don't match the reality. You could prepare for everything that you possibly can think of, and then you'll find out that you're still not prepared.
Like a tick invasion.
Yeah, it's just part of it. It's a great lifestyle. You know, everybody says a simpler life. That is not true. It's a hard
I've done
life.
a lot more work here than I have in Florida.
If you don't have a work ethic, and like I told her, you got to learn to embrace the suck, because
a lot of stuff sucks.
You're gonna run into a lot of problems, but with a little bit of fortitude and determination and all of that, you'll get through it. You become stronger, wiser, more resourceful, and all of that, and you get to kind of live life on your own terms, which is priceless. So it's worth it at the end of the day. But it's not easy. It's those Hollywood homesteaders that make it seem like it's just everything's peachy and gravy.
It's not.
Not true. Not true. It is very rewarding. It is a great lifestyle, but you will work for it, for sure. That's my answer to that one.
Okay, good. Moving on. Is it cheaper to raise your own food?
No.
Why not?
Honestly, it's about the same. By the time you pay for feed and all of that, and like veterinarian care and all that other kind of stuff, it's not. Some things are, some things not. It equals out to be where it's about the same. But I will tell you that the quality of food is way, way, way better.
And to know where your food is coming from and what your
Yeah.
animals are eating gives you a peace of mind.
From hoof to fork.
Pull over.
No.
That was a tiny turtle,
Yes,
like that
and he's trying to
big.
cross the street to find his mama.
Oh,
I
gosh.
swerved to miss him.
I find so many turtles around here, and I just started recently watching somebody on Facebook that has 6 tortoises that she lets roam free in her yard, and she packs them up every night.
Yeah,
I want them.
It's baby season right now for the turtles.
I find turtles all the time. I love them, but they are protected here in Arkansas. They
Yeah.
are in Florida too, but not as many species as these are. It feels like every species I find is protected. I just want a turtle.
Stay focused.
Okay. Okay, so no, it's not cheaper to raise your own food, but for the peace
The
of mind,
quality's better.
the quality, everything is much better. It is cheaper to grow your own food though.
Well, that's not necessarily true either. That depends.
How not? There's people that just put it in the garden.
Yeah, but those don't normally successfully sustain.
At the next stop sign, turn left.
There's a lot of work that goes along with getting your garden set up properly to be able to grow
At the
enough
stop
stuff to
sign,
sustain
turn left
yourself.
onto Arkansas 109 North.
I
Fifth
feel like
Street.
depending on how you eat, it is cheaper than going to the grocery store because everything you can buy at the grocery store, you can make at home. Seasonings, powdered sugar, grains.
And there's cost to that.
Yes, there is cost to it. But if you do it right, and if you do it a certain way, you can use it every single year. Like, you can make your own compost. Leaves is free. I feel like in the offset run, it'd be
Yeah, but
cheaper.
we're talking about people starting out.
Right. Well, this whole thing's not about people starting out.
Yeah.
But
it takes years to get to a point where you can just produce.
right. But it'll be worth it in the end. Okay. How do you handle predators and pests? Pests like bugs.
Well, there's all kinds of natural ways with the gardening and stuff like that. You can plant mint and, peppermint and stuff like that
Basil.
to deter some bugs, different things. It's good to have a good old doggy around. That helps a little bit, as long as your dog ain't the predator.
She might be the predator, but I do feel much safer with her up there.
And sometimes you got to do a little pew-pewing every once in a while. And I would say the main thing for that is infrastructure. Making sure that your pens and enclosures and all that stuff is secure and set up properly for whatever animal you have in there. That right there will deter predators more than anything.
Okay.
Next. I'm killing this, guys. Killing it.
What animals are great for beginners and why?
Chickens, it seems to be the go-to for most people. I think goats, but a lot of people are going to disagree with that.
Them things are needy.
Not really. It goes back to infrastructure. If you set your infrastructure up properly, goats are easy. And they're very useful. They're like four-legged bush hogs. Can help with clearing and everything else. But I would say small stuff. Like chickens is probably the go-to, like, starter homestead thing. Chickens. And rabbits. Rabbits are easy. And rabbits will produce a lot of protein quickly on a small budget. So rabbits and chickens are my top two.
I really want to have my own little chicken, I was going to say chicken garden, my own little chicken farm. Okay. Next question is, what are 3 to 5 skills I should learn first to be successful?
Work ethic.
1.
You definitely need to learn that.
Self-starter.
I would say basic, like carpentry skills. You don't have to be able to build a house from the ground up, but you do need to know how to use a hammer, screw gun, stuff like that.
Nail gun.
Learn how to read a measuring tape, those type of things. And I would say learn how to operate a chainsaw.
I do not know how to operate a chainsaw.
Yeah, that's a pretty big one. A chainsaw is a pretty important tool in the homesteading world. And then educate yourself. Learn to research. Those would be my things. A lot of great information is over there at Come On Homestead on YouTube. It's one-stop shop for a lot of your needs.
I do feel like you, for your 5th, because you didn't do a 5th, I feel like
I thought I did a 5th.
You might have. I might have been bad at counting. I feel like you have to be a self-starter. That is one thing I am learning. You said work ethic, but...
Yeah, number 5, learn how to count.
I just get a little confused sometimes, but I
don't
feel...
know if I said 5 or not. I'm just messing with you.
But I do feel like you need to be a self-starter, because that is one thing I am learning very quickly, because on my days off he is always calling me at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. No time to sleep.
Wake up,
it's time to get up.
It ain't gonna do itself.
Okay, what is the best way that you found to find a supportive community?
Again, go subscribe to Come On Homestead. Great community over there.
They are
good, knowledgeable people. We got all kinds of experts, from gardens to farming to clearing, all kinds of stuff. No, online is definitely join local groups and stuff like that on the socials. Definitely helps. Go to your local farmers markets, stuff like that. Put yourself around people that have similar interests.
Yes.
I would say is your best bet. But online is a big one these days, because if you're out in the middle of nowhere off gridding, it's a good chance there ain't a lot of people around you.
You ain't gonna meet them.
Yep.
Okay. The next way. Are you 100% off grid? If so, what do you feel is the hardest part?
Yes, I am 100% off grid. I have been from the beginning. When I started this journey, it was nothing but a broke down cabin as a structure with no infrastructure whatsoever. You might be surprised.
In half a mile, turn right onto South Crawford Street.
The thing I struggled with the most was not having a sink. It wasn't showering outside in the winter and all of that, and going poo-poo outside or nothing like that. It was not having a sink to be able to wash dishes, wash my hands, wash things. But I would say that the hardest struggle, I guess it depends on who it is.
After the railroad crossing, turn right onto South Crawford Street.
Some people have a problem with isolation, so that's hard for some people. I would say the hardest thing is just learning to embrace the suck. Stuff happening.
Yeah.
You, like I said, you can come into it planned, like you planned well, and then you find out that your plans ain't that great. So you learn a lot, but yeah, that's what I got on that one.
What inspires you to live off grid?
I needed a change in my life. I wasn't happy with the current direction of my life. I'm a firm believer in, if you're not happy with your life and things ain't going the way that you want, it's up to you to fix it. And my life went a certain way, raising my kids and all that other stuff. And then after that was over with, really wasn't happy with my life. And I put everybody else before myself. So I didn't even know what I liked anymore. So it was New Year's Eve one year, and I decided, you know what, I'm not happy. I'm going to change everything. And so I did. I love the outdoors. I love the adventure. I love to be challenged. I love to be a little different, do things differently. So, this off-grid niche kind of gave me all of that in one. And so I went for it.
I was very surprised when he left. Explain the best regulations that you feel, like if somebody was starting out, what regulations do they need to look for? To ask for?
What do you mean, regulations?
Yeah, like how we're in a no regulations, what is something that you would need to ask?
You need to make sure that the property that you are looking for has no regulations.
Right.
You get into an area that has all these regulations and permits and stuff like that, then you better have a lot of money, because you can't just go out there with your chainsaw and cut down a tree and make a building, because they got to be inspected and all this other stuff. So make sure that your area supports the off-grid lifestyle, because there's some places and stuff, guys, where like water catchment is illegal. Like they will put you in jail for it. So no regulation, actually. Look for no regulation.
I lived in Florida, and I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on permits whenever I had my house put on a piece of property. And a lot of stuff was illegal to do by yourself. You had to have a licensed contractor. Pulling permits was very expensive. It was horrible. Okay. And you have 2 more questions. Why Arkansas?
Because it's the natural state.
Did you do research on Arkansas, or did you just say,
I
let's
came
go?
to visit my friends, and I fell in love with it. I was sitting out by their pond when they got their property. I came to look at it, and I told them, I said, you know what, this feels like home. So 4 months later, I made it home.
Good.
And Arkansas is like a hidden gem. Nobody ever thinks about Arkansas, but it's absolutely gorgeous here.
I used to forget that Arkansas was even a state. And now I'm just living in that state. It's crazy. And there's so much to do out here. I've looked up so much travel advisories and stuff. Okay, last question. If somebody is starting out what is the first step that you think they need to do? What is the best piece of advice? Like, what is the first thing that you really need to think about going into this?
I would write a pro and con list of what you're looking for out of life. That would be the first step. And then once your pro and con list confirms that this is what you want to do tons and tons and tons of research about what kind of climate you're looking for, what kind of environment are you looking for, you know, what are you primarily planning on doing on the said property and all of that. Are you going to be more of a gardener, or are you going to be like livestock and gardener, just livestock, stuff like that, and really kind of look for a piece of property that fits your needs and your skill set. Because if you don't have the skill set, equipment, and all that other stuff to go clear this big piece of property, then you might want to go find one that's kind of cleared already, you know, that has a little bit of infrastructure on there, like a cabin or something like that. So, yeah, pro and con list, make sure it's actually what you want, and then do tons of research about the area and the location that you want to go. And then from there, really research that area and the properties that you were thinking about to make sure that the regulations and all of that meets the lifestyle that you're trying to live. That'd be what I'd say.
Well, there you have it. So I asked him quite a few questions that I see a lot of people ask questions about on our pages, and other people on different videos that I watch that have tons of questions on homesteading and living 100% off grid. But thank you guys so much for watching. Do you have anything to add to the rest of the video?
Yep.
What is it? Okay, what is it?
Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.